Welcome back, my friends, to another action-packed, exciting episode. It's either going to cook or it ain't. Today, we're going to assemble some bread. Assembly required. And here's all the parts. Flour, olive oil, brown sugar, salt. We're going to use some fast rise yeast today. And let's start out. We're going to start out proofing the yeast. So we're going to put the brown sugar. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon. I'm doing a double batch, so 2 tablespoons. This is for the water to proof the yeast. 1 tablespoon in here, 1 tablespoon in there, because the yeast likes to proof with sugar. And we're going to put the water in here and wait till the temperature goes down. We're going to put hot water in there and wait till the temperature goes down to around 110 before we put our yeast in there. It's very important, because if you put it in there too hot, your yeast is going to die and it won't proof. It's a living organism. All right, let's get started. So while the water is heating up, it calls for 1 tablespoon. I'm making a double recipe, so of brown sugar. So 1 per cup. Well, it's not a cup, it's that one was a little low. Yeah. The hot water is going to help melt the sugar, and the cup and the sugar is going to get the heat to go down so I can put the yeast in. So I added the hot water to the sugar. It was like 165. It dropped down to 150 right away. So now we got to hurry up and wait for that to go down to about 110. I like to add the olive oil in there as well, because that won't interfere with the yeast. Plus it helps disperse it into the flour rather than just putting 2 tablespoons of, you might have a big glop in one area. You'll have to knead it from here to infinity to get it to disperse. All right. Hang on, I'm going to do that and we'll be right back. See, look at that. Just put the oil in and it went down another 10 degrees. Alrighty. Hang on. So you don't really want to scoop your flour out with the measuring cup or it'll pack it in too hard. So I like to use a spoon. I don't have a fancy sifter, so this is about as high tech as I can get it. This is going to be a very low tech, no mixer, no fancy tools type of video that anyone can duplicate. You know, I just hate those videos that everyone brings out these fancy mixers, and I mean, I don't got all that stuff. How do I do that without using those fancy tools? Well, we're going to show you today. So I'm going to need 4 of these. This is a 1.5 cup measuring, 1.5 cup measuring cup. Yeah. And you want to level it off, make a mess, pour it in there, and we'll save you the redundancy, and I'll be right back. I added 3 teaspoons of salt, pink Himalayan salt, because that's the kind of salt I like. I thought I was recording, but so I have to come back and tell you. It calls for 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So I put 3 in there and I'm mixing it. The temperature is coming down nicely. It's about at 130. About 20 more degrees. We'll be ready for some yeast. So yeah, I like to get this mixed real nice. The salt mixed real nice in there. You know, you don't want pockets of and when I thought I was recording, I sprinkled the 3 teaspoons on there so it was more dispersed. And we are dispersing it even more, mixing it. And that should be good. Now we just have to hurry up and wait for the temperature. Hey. So we'll be right back. So I'm having issues, technical issues with my camera, but I put the yeast in there, 1 each, to proof it, and this is what you're looking for. You're looking for it to be nice and frothy on the top. That means it's ready to make your bread rise. So this thing's pretty nice to mix it in there. Alright, now we need to mix it into the flour. I just go for it. Try to get, you know, all the good stuff to come out. Throw it in there. Make a soupy looking mess. And start mixing. This is my mixer. My power mixer right here. Yeah. So, takes a little more effort, but the results are just as good. Sure would be nice to have a mixer though. Alright, you don't need to see me do this. I'll be right back when it's a ball dough. Alright, this is the fun part where it's good enough to start mixing by hand, where it's not gonna feel like snot. That's why I use the spoon first. Now we just gotta keep folding this flour in there. Working. And we're done with the bowl. Put this right on your clean countertop. Spent all day cleaning the counter off, do some filming. That's better. It's a little uncomfortable behind the camera. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing this for a while, so I'll turn you back on when it's more of a dough ball. CPR, look. Live. Yeah, we gotta do this for a while. Get everything to mix real good. Pretty much there. A little bit more. So I'm not that much of a novice. 35 years ago I worked at a pizzeria. So we used to make fresh dough, and so we used to do this technique to make the dough balls for the pizzas. You know, and you pinch it back over here. This would be like a super extra mega large. So there we go. It's not perfect, but we got to play with it some more after it rises. Put a little olive oil on it. A little bit in there. And it's my this is from my pressure cooker. This works great for, I think this is going to work great for putting the dough in here. Let it rise. Yeah. Shouldn't have done that, but alright, put this in here and cover it. Hurry up and wait for it to rise for about an hour, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The dough more than doubled in size. Big. Got big. You know, I had the little leftover chunks that I got around there. So a little more kneading again. Get all the air out. The air out again. And time to cut it in half. This is 2 loaves of bread. All right. Put this aside. I like to get all the air out. Get my rolling pin. Told you I didn't have any fancy tools. But this works. You got one of them there fancy highfalutin rolling pins. Do it the old-fashioned way. Doesn't have to be Budweiser bottle. But I don't think you want to try it with a can. Looks great. So I'm going to roll this out. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I got it pretty much rolled out where I want it. You want to get it about no thicker than an 1/8 inch, I would say. And now what you do is start rolling it up. Keep it tight. Starting it is the hard part. Okay. Yeah, that's a little loose. Make sure it's a tight roll. What I was told. You want to pinch the seams. What I like to do is roll this all the way around. Something like that. And you're going to want to pinch these together. Pinch this side together. Yeah. Hey, you want to just try to pinch all this together. So it's one again. Give it a smash. See which side you want to be the top. The recipe calls for the oil, the pan, and put some, what is that? Corn flour. Hang on, let me look. Cornmeal. I didn't have any cornmeal, so I just sprinkled some flour over the oil in there. I got sides oiled, and I have this I made real quick with a couple pieces of wood and some aluminum foil to separate the two so it could expand and go up instead of just expand flat. Don't want flat bread, we want tall bread. Alrighty, let me get the other one loaded and we'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. Just wanted to show you how the other one turned out. You want to roll it this thin because you want to make sure you get all the air bubbles out. If you ever look at a piece of bread that you would buy from the grocery store, you would see that swirl in the center of it. That's why I'm rolling it, to get that swirl in there. That's what I was told. All right, let's roll this one up. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. This is what I came up with. Some cellophane. Put some olive oil on top. Put the cellophane on there so we can. Don't put it too tight because it needs to rise. You want to have it nice and loose so it can balloon up like it's supposed to. And when you're using your rolling pin, you want to make sure not to grab the one you're drinking out of. That's very important because you'll ruin your bread if you do. Alrighty. It's a hurry up and wait time again. So we'll see you in about another hour. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. As you can see, you got bigger and not quite big enough, but we're gonna force that a little bit. It's been an hour and that's all I wanted to rise. So the trick that was told to me was to turn your stove on, your oven on low. I had it on low at 170. That's the lowest it will go, so I have to turn it off. And you get your water boiling, put in there so it's nice and humid. You let some of this heat out. Let's readjust you. Okay, so I got that water in there, and it's not super hot in here, but we're gonna do some freestyling. Let's turn the light on. Here we go. Okay, you can see how it looks right now, and we're gonna give it a little while and see if we can't get it to grow some more. Be right back. Hey, I'm back. I forgot to tell you that you want to make some cuts on here to help this expand. Diagonal cuts, or you can make one cut all the way down the center if you want. It's like it's a little shallow cut. Doesn't have to be real deep. That helps it expand more. See which one turns out better, the diagonal or the straight ones. Put this back in the oven and force it to rise some more. We'll be right back. So that's about where it expanded to. I'm gonna set the stove to 375. For 25 to 30 minutes. Be right back. So there we go. It's out of the oven. Little advice: if you turn the broiler on to get it a little more brown, keep an eye on it. Oops. Anyway, for more cooking, it's either going to cook or it ain't. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. And if it's either going to cook or it ain't. Bye. It's shaped a little weird, but it's nice and soft. And it's going to make a great turkey sandwich. A little mustard on this baby. Yeah, nice. Thanks for watching.